Hello students, welcome back to my class. So I am Professor Ambily Pillai, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Government First Grade College, KUNDGOL. So students, here I am going to start session 23 from Unit 3 on the topic Product Policy. Already, earlier sessions I have been dealing with the same topic, Unit 3, and let us see what we are going to study in session 23. Okay, so as you can see, the topic that we are covering is new product development process. So look at the diagram which I have shown here. New product development process, that is how a product is being processed right from idea generation. First thing about a product, before a product is come out of a manufacturer's end, is creating an idea, that is generating an idea as to what kind of a product to produce. So that is called idea generation. Next, idea screening, that is how far it is feasible, how far you can produce it to the optimum level. Then concept development and testing, and market strategy development, business analysis, product development, test marketing, and finally commercialization. So students, what I'm going to do here is, this session I will be dealing with the first 4 aspects of the process. That is idea generation. What is idea generation? Idea screening, concept development and testing, and then marketing strategy development. So in the later on session, I'll be dealing with the rest 4. So let us see the first part in the process of product being developed. The first one is idea generation. The new product development process starts with the idea generation. Idea generation refers to the systematic search for new product ideas, that is generating some idea in your mind. So thinking about which product is good, how to produce, and all the mental calculation that we do is called idea generation. Then second, after you have an idea, okay, I will produce this product. Then what is the next process is idea screening. It is nothing else but than filtering the idea to pick out good ones. In other words, all ideas generated are screened to spot good ones and drop poor ones as soon as possible. So here screening, in the sense, in the first stage we have so many ideas what kind of product to produce, and there may be some 10 or 15 product ideas in our head. Next process is how to pick the best product out of those ideas. Okay, it is all your mental calculation, and throw out the ideas which are may not be successful. So in your mind you just pick some 2 or 3 product which can be processed. Okay, then third process is concept development and testing. To go on in the new product development process, attractive ideas must be developed into the product concept. A product concept is a detailed version of the new product idea stated in meaningful consumer terms. New product concepts such as those given above need to be tested with groups of target consumers. The concept can be presented to consumers either symbolically or physically. Okay, so it is where a product is being finalized and you start producing it, and after you produced a product, what you will do, you will present it to the customers. Yes, this is a new product that we have produced. You please try and give us your response, give us your opinion on the product. So they may give some sample, or they may come give it with some other product as a gift or something, and try to find out the reaction of the consumers. Okay, this is called testing, concept development and testing. That is, from your brain, you have got an idea, then you pick up the best idea, and in the third stage you produce that product as per your idea and present it, that is test it with the customers. Fourth stage or process is marketing strategy development. See, when a good concept has been developed and tested, so the consumers liked it, then what is the next step? It is a time to design an initial marketing strategy for the new product based on the product concept for introducing new product to the market. So it is where you try to find out new ideas, how to betterment your product, how to be more pleasing to the customers. Okay, and so in this session we have seen the four process out of the eight listed process. Okay, so they are idea generation, that is your mental, in your mind you create one idea, and then the second process is picking out the best out of those ideas, that is idea screening, and then concept development, that is from your idea, from your mind you make the product, and then you test it, that is you may give a sample, or you may give a trial, you may ask some customers to try the product, and once it is successful, once the customers give a positive response to your product, then the fourth process is marketing strategy development, that is how to market your product for by in the best possible manner. So this is a fourth process. So let us see the next process, next four process in the next session, which I'll be taking in a while from now. Okay, students, welcome back. So I'll be continuing from session 23. So let us see the next four process in product development. So it is a continuation product development process. So the fifth one is business analysis. Once decided on a product concept and marketing strategy, management can evaluate the business attractiveness of the proposed new product. The fifth step in the new product development process involves a review of the sales, cost, and profit projections for the new product to find out whether these factors satisfy the company's objectives. If they do, the product can be moved on to the product development stage. So it is where they try to find out the profitability, whether the product will give them the maximum profit or no. Okay, customers liked it. So will the customers continue to buy or just leave it there? So this study is done in stage 5. Then so here further what I can say is the following, that is the marketing researchers have to provide informations on the following aspects. So what are the things they will see about the products is successful or no? Estimated demand for the new product, how much the customers may demand. Seasonal changes in its consumption and demand. Suppose that product is demanded in only a particular season, or at the time of particular event, or some change in the environment, then that has to be studied. Nature of competition prevailing in the market. Already such product is there in the market, definitely the competition is high. If no product is found of such sort, then definitely they have a market monopoly. Then major competitors, their share in the market, etc. Then price elasticity of demand. That is, if the prices rise, then the demand may come down, or if the prices are down, then demand may rise. Or if the product is so good that price doesn't have any impact on the demand, then definitely the company can have a good share in the market. Okay, then sixth point that they have to consider is cost volume profit analysis. That is, whether they are earning a good amount of income as compared to their cost. So the cost should be less and then income should be more only, then or sale volume should be more only, then we say there is a profit. Okay, then seventh one is channels of distribution required. So whether we need a wholesaler or directly to the retailer or directly to the customers or any other sort of middleman you require or no, that study has to be done. Then steps to be taken for copyright, advertising, packaging, branding, etc. Okay, so then the sixth stage. So all these points have to be considered at the time of fifth stage. Okay, then the sixth stage is product development. The new product development process goes on with the actual product development. The R&D, that is research and development department, will develop and test one or more physical version of the product concept. So whether the product is good or no, they physically check the product and then to make the necessary changes if they require some improvement. Okay, so it is in the sixth stage. Then the seventh stage is test marketing. In this stage of new product development process, the product and its proposed marketing program are tested in real market. Okay, so it is a seventh stage where the product is going to the real market and getting a taste of the market. Okay, so that is called test marketing. Then last process or stage in the product development process are commercialization. If the test marketing is successful, okay, so for the first time the company's product went into the market and all the customers, most of them were happy with the product, then it is termed as a successful launch. Okay, then the company introduces the new product on a large scale, say all over the country. The company makes a large investment in new product. It produces and distributes the new product on a huge scale. It advertises the new product on the mass media like TV, radio, newspapers, and magazines. Okay, it is a last stage where they really jump into the market and try to become a market leader or a market giant. So it is where they put a lot of effort in advertising and popularizing its product. Okay, so these are the eight process stages in a product development. So, what is this commercialization? What are the activities they do actually? So, that is deciding the characteristics of the product, how it should look, how it should taste, how it is, what may be the features. Okay, then procuring manufacturing facilities. That is, if we need machineries or some building or some any other product, any other supportive facilities, then purchasing or acquiring those facilities is a next activity they do in this last stage. Building up an appropriate marketing mix. That is what kind of a mix they have to the price or quality. So all those things aspect they consider. Then deciding about the package. What kind of package, whether it has to be a plastic covering or a binded one, or anything else. Branding and trade marketing. Then finally launching the product in the market. So these are the five activities they do under commercialization. Okay, so finally, what we have studied in this session is the last four part of the out of the eight stages: business analysis, product development, test marketing, and commercialization. So, commercialization involves deciding the characteristics of the product, procuring manufacturing facilities, building up an appropriate marketing mix, deciding about the package, branding, and trade marketing, and finally launching the product in the market. So, hope you are clear with what I have taught you. Thank you. Okay, students. So, in this session, we will be dealing with the 25th session from the same chapter, Unit 3, Product Policy. So, let us see what we are going to study in this session. So, why new product fail? So in the earlier session we have seen how a new product is launched, the 8 stages how a product, right from generating an idea till launching that product, what are the stages. So here most sometimes what happened with all the calculations and all the permutations and combinations, some of the product fail in the market. So let us see what are the reasons why some products fail, and also the remedies or remedial measures that can be taken. Okay, in spite of the efforts made by the marketer, some products fail. Product failure can be attributed to any one or more of the following causes. The first cause may be poor product quality. As you all know, if a customer doesn't like the quality of the product, then definitely he will not go to buy it, and the product may become a failure. Obviously, a product which is of poor quality cannot be sold in the market. Okay, and then the second reason might be higher prices. So always we see the MRP and just compare it with the product. Okay, is it worth that money or no? Okay, so another reason for the failure of certain product is the price factor. Higher production and distribution cost may lead to higher price. Such a product cannot be sold in a market consisting of middle and lower income buyers. So especially if you're focusing or if you're targeting lower income or middle class families, population, then definitely highly priced products will not be a success. Then poor timing. It is important that a product to be successful is introduced in the market at the right or correct time. If it is introduced at an unsuitable time, it may turn out to be failure. For example, if a product is launched when the consumers doesn't really need it, or the need for such product doesn't arise, then definitely there won't be any takers for the product. Then the fourth reason may be inherent defect. There may be an inherent defect in the product which may affect its market potentialities. Such a product may not be preferred by the buyers if the defect is rectified later. See, if there is a product, a highly technical product or a technologically efficient product, but there may be some snag or some problem or defect in the product, then definitely consumers will stop buying those products. Okay, maybe a mobile phone or some gadgets. If there is any, while using it, there may be some snag, there may be some defect in it, then what we do, we go and return that product. We say we don't want the product, you give us our money, right? So in such a condition, that product become a failure. Then, extent of competition. Yeah, a monopolist may not have any difficulty in marketing his product, yes or no? Because there is no competition. In the case of a market where there are large number of sellers for a particular product, the buyer will have many alternatives. Therefore, in such a condition, unless the marketer brings out the product to the satisfaction of buyers, he cannot be successful. So that means what? The if the competition is very stiff, if there are equally competent product in the market, then definitely consumers will buy or prefer other products if your product is not comparatively good, okay, then your product becomes a failure. Then another reason why a product fail is lack of promotional measures. Okay, if you are not promoting or advertising your product or popularizing your product, then definitely no one will know about your product and no one will buy. So this may lead to the failure of your product. Okay, so popularizing the brand, particularly in the introduction stage of the product, is essential. Such a step will ensure repeated buying and bring long term benefits for the marketer. Failure to do so will provide or will prove to be disastrous for the product. That means if you are not advertising properly, if you are not spending money in advertisement, then your product will not be bought or purchased by the consumers because they don't know about your product. Okay, then the another reason why a product fail is poor after sales service. See, most of the automobiles you have after sales services, okay, or electronic gadgets you have warranties. If there is any problem in it, you can just during that warranty period you can go and correct your equipment. Okay, the same if you don't give after sales service properly, then the consumers will not be happy and they will not buy your company products. The quality of after sales service is yet another important cause. Most marketers, particularly those marketing durables, two wheelers, etc., are cautious while making sales. When the customer requires service later and approaches the seller, the latter may show indifference. That is, they have to give after sales service properly. Otherwise, the consumers will be unhappy and they may switch on to another product, your competitor's product, very easily. So, what are the measures that can be taken to prevent the failure? The marketer shall ensure that the product he markets is in demand. Before launching the product, steps must be taken to ensure that there is no inherent defect. All efforts must be made to popularize the product brand name, particularly in the introduction stage. It is also important to make available genuine spare parts in the market at fair prices. In the case of consumer and industrial goods, it is beneficial to get the quality certified by the Indian Standard Institution ISI and or by the International Standard Organization ISO. Then steps must be taken to eliminate duplicate goods in the market. So eliminate, that is removing duplicate goods in the market. So finally in this session students, we have studied why do some products fail. So the highlights are poor product quality, higher prices, poor timing, inherent defect, extent of competition, lack of promotional measures, and poor after sales services. We have also seen some measures that can be taken to prevent the product failure. Hope you have understood this part of the session. Thank you.
Hello students, welcome back to my class. So now we will see session 26 from the same unit 3, that is product policy. So in the earlier session we have discussed regarding the various topics. Now we shall see the topic for today's session, that is product life cycle and its stages. So here I have shown in a diagram. So you can see here there are 4 basic stages in a product life cycle. Like we human beings, even a product has its own life cycle. So let me just read. The product life cycle has 4 very clearly defined stages, each with its own characteristics that means different things for businesses that are trying to manage the life cycle of their particular product. So as I said, like we human beings, We are born, we grow, we turn into a maturity age, and then slowly we become old. The same way, even a product has its own life cycle. It will be introduced in the market. It start getting a good demand in the market, that is in the growth stage. Then it will reach such a point where it becomes a market leader, and then slowly there will be competitors in the market, and finally it will have a decline stage where it is not able to withstand the competition and it will lose its market. In each stage there are different things that a marketer has to do. So we shall see in the further session. So let us see the meaning of each stage. The first one is introduction stage. This stage of the cycle could be the most expensive for a company launching a new product. The size of the market for the product is small, which means sales are low, although they will be increasing. On the other hand, the cost of things like research and development, consumer testing, and the marketing needed to launch the product can be very high, especially if it's a competitive sector. As I told you, when a product is new in the market, the company has to spend a lot of money in advertising it and making it popular. So in the first stage, the profit will be less, but the expenses will be huge. If the company is able to withstand this stage, then it will go to the next stage, that is the growth stage. It is typically characterized by a strong growth in the sales and profit. And because the company can start to benefit from economies of scale in production, the profit margins as well as the overall amount of profit will increase. So as I told, when the product is getting demand in the market, slowly the company will start earning profit from the product, and the expense also get reduced because it need not spend excess amount in advertising and popularizing the product. This makes it possible for businesses to invest more money in the promotional activity to maximize the potential of this growth stage. So in this stage, the company start earning profit gradually. Then comes the third stage, that is maturity stage. During this stage, the product is established and the aim of the manufacturer is now to maintain the market share they have built up. This is probably the most competitive time for most products and businesses. They need to invest wisely in any marketing they undertake. They also need to consider any product modification or improvements to the product or production process which might give them a competitive edge. As I told you, in maturity stage, the product becomes a market leader and gradually competitors come into the play and they start facing competition. And it is a stage where the company will think about making some changes in the feature or look or the acceptability of the product. Okay, and from this stage, gradually they come into the decline stage. Eventually, the market for a product will start to shrink, that is, will start reducing, and this is what is known as the decline stage. This shrinkage could be due to the market becoming saturated, that is, all the consumers who buy the product have already purchased it, or because the consumer are switching to a different type of a product. As I told you, in third stage, when the competition start increasing, the competitors start to produce a better product than your company product. Then what happens? If we don't give much importance in R&D, research and development, and try to do some improvisation in the product, then we will not be able to face the competition, and gradually the product will not be purchased by any consumers. Consumers start buying the competitors' product, and finally the market for the product will shrink, will go down, and it is a stage where we call it as a decline stage or shrinkage stage. Okay. So finally, in this session, we have seen the 4 stages in product life cycle. That is introduction stage, where it is very new, the growth stage, where it is being accepted by the consumers, and slowly the company start earning profit. And the third stage is where the company is at a market leader and reaches a maturity stage where competitors also come into the play. And finally, the decline stage where the company is unable to face the competition and the product loses its market. Hope you have understood this session, and we will come back with the next session very soon. Hello, welcome back to the session 27. So this is from the same unit 3, that is product policy. So in session 26, we have already studied about the 4 stages of product life cycle. Okay, so now we shall see a new topic, that is on branding, meaning, definition and elements of branding. So let us see the meaning. Branding is a process of giving a meaning to specific organization, company, products or services by creating and shaping a brand in consumers' mind. It is a strategy designed by organizations to help people to quickly identify and experience their brand and give them a reason to choose their product over the competitor's product by clarifying what this particular brand is and not. So branding finally is something that if you look at the brand, you can immediately find out which product it is or which companies it is. So each company has its own branding and brand logo. Like you remember so many brands. Okay, so Tata has a different a logo or a feature. The Reliance, they have their own logo and branding, and the Mahindras. So if you look just at the logo, you can say, okay, it is of this company. Okay, and this is called branding, so that we can find out or categorize between the different companies or brands. Then the definition. Branding is endowing products and services with the power of brand. So this is given by Kotler and Keller in 2015. So let us find out the elements of branding. The elements of branding. So they are, first one, brand association. The intangible feature like logo, color, scheme, ambassadors, owners, etc., which are associated with the product, they help in the positioning of the product. So this is called brand association. Okay, so all these actors, film stars, they are all ambassadors of each brand. So this is called association, brand association. Then next comes brand name, the part of the brand which gives it a spoken identity, just like a person's name. So this is called a brand name. So now Reliance. So Reliance Enterprise, you have a Reliance name. Tata, you have different product lines like the Sonata or Tata or Fast Ride. So they have their own logo and their own brand name. Okay. Then next is brand attributes. The characteristics of a brand, the core value of the brand. To be a strong brand, the brand should have some characteristics like relevancy, consistency, appeal, sustainability, credibility, etc. All these come into brand attributes. Then comes brand identity. How can an organization feel of its brand? It's basically an image of the brand, from a company's point of view. That is how it wants the consumer to perceive its brand. Then next comes brand image. The image of the brand in the consumer's mind, how they perceive the brand. And then brand personality. Just like humans, brands have a way to speak and behave. Brand personality is basically the human personality, traits of the brand, etc. Example, honesty, caring, luxurious, etc. Then next comes brand positioning. Where does the brand stand among the competition? Positioning is a distinctive or unique position of the brand in the market or consumer's mind. So how far, if you just look at like Mercedes, you have that star sign. If you just look at that, you have, okay, this is a luxurious brand. Or if you have a Maruti, if you see a Maruti logo or a brand logo or the name, then immediately what we have in our mind, okay, it can be affordable, it is within our reach. So this is called brand positioning. Then you have brand awareness. It is the extent to which consumers are acquainted with a particular brand. And then brand recall, that is how quickly you can recollect or remember that particular brand. Brand recall is the ability of consumers to recognize the brand when the product category is mentioned. Example, Coca-Cola is recalled when soft drinks are mentioned. That, as I told, luxurious brands. If you say luxury cars, you just have so many different brands like Jaguar or Mercedes or Audi. So they are all brands which we have in our mind like they are luxury, which we can afford or a middle class family can afford, like your Maruti or Hyundai. So immediately we think about those brands. This is called brand recall. So then you have brand recognition. Brand recognition is the ability of consumers to recognize the brand when asked questions about that brand or when shown products of that brand. Example, a product is shown to you and you are asked if you have seen this before or not, and do you remember its name or not. As I told you, there are some signs or logos. Immediately looking at that, we'll remember the company name or that brand name. So this is called brand recognition. Brand value. As the phrase states, brand value is a value of the brand over and above the tangible product. That is, how much extra will a consumer pay if he gets a product of a specified brand. So as I told you, there are branded clothes, for example. So only for that brand name we pay an extra amount, the goodwill of that brand. So that is called brand value. Then brand management, the process of maintaining and managing or management of that particular brand is brand management. And then the 13th one is brand promise. The benefits and experience which a business promises to associate with a brand. So how far the brand name and the brand, the product under that brand is able to give satisfaction to the consumers and users. The utility factor of that brand, of that product, is called brand promise. Then brand message. The message used to express the brand promise. That is, every brand has its own a message. Even banks have their own message through a logo, through a brand. Okay, so this is brand message. And then brand ambassador, a person or a group of persons hired by an organization to represent a brand. There are so many actors, film stars who are ambassadors for various brands. So you are aware of so many brands which even now recently Amir Khan is a brand ambassador for Fiat, Seat tires. Okay, and then earlier he was a brand ambassador for Titan watches. Even Rani Mukherjee was a brand ambassador. Okay, so they are all representatives, or through them the brand is being advertised. Okay, so finally we shall see the session summary. So in this session we have seen the 15 elements of branding. So they are brand associations, brand name, brand attributes, identity, image, brand positioning, brand personality, awareness, recall, recognition, value, management, promise, message, and finally ambassador. So hopefully you have understood this session. So we will come back with the next. Thank you.